जन मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जगति तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
सर आगे से हट जाइए ना, बैठ जाइए आप, ये तो हट जाइए।
Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji, Honorable Vice President of India, Madam Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar ji, Shri Ajit Kumar Doval ji, National Security Advisor of India, Shri Ashok P. Hinduja ji, Chairman Hinduja Group of Companies, India, Srimati Harsha Hinduja ji, Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji, President of Parliamentary Niketan Ashram Rishikesh, Shri Sunil Kumar Gupta ji, Secretary to the Vice President of India, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning and a warm welcome to today's event. This is indeed a memorable occasion as we come together for the launch of the book I Am, compiled by Shri Gopichand P. Hinduja ji, Chairman of the Hinduja Group. I Am explores the universal essence of spirituality and humanity, transcending religious divides. This compilation is a product of deep contemplation and extensive conversations of the author with spiritual leaders and intellectuals. The result is a unique collection of the world's religions and their teachings, all in one place. The thought-provoking title, a question in itself as opposed to being an assertion, invites readers to move beyond the limitations of identity-based thinking and embark on a journey of authentic self-discovery. To begin the event, I invite Shri Ashok Hinduja ji, brother of Shri Gopichand Hinduja ji, the author at the center of today's event, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Namaskar. Honorable Vice President Shri Dhankhar ji, Honorable Second Lady Srimati Sudesh Dhankhar ji, Shri Ajit Kumar Doval ji, His Holiness Puja Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji, Shri Sunil Gupta ji, and dear friends. On behalf of my brother Gopichand Hinduja, who could not be here today because of a health issue, it is my privilege to welcome you all. On behalf of the Hinduja family, Harsha and I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Vice President for kindly agreeing to release the book and graciously hosting us all today. Sir, your government embodies the philosophy of Sarva Dharma Sambhav, equality and respect for all faiths, without appeasement of any. This principle is the very essence of our culture, and it is deeply inspired by my brother GP to compile this book. Sarva Dharma Sambhav, which promotes harmony by extending equal respect to all religions, is a timeless philosophy that resonates universally. Let me now share with all of you what inspired my brother GP to compile this book. Formerly educated at Mumbai University, GP considers himself to be a student at the University of Life. For him, experience is the best teacher. At the young age of 17, he deep dived into our family business and relocated to Iran. Later, he moved to the UK in 1978, navigating different cultures across several geographies while maintaining its Sanatan traditions has always been the way of life for our family. Our journey has been enriching and our businesses have flourished because promoting multicultural understanding has been an article of faith for us. Moved by the heartbreaking strife and bloodshed that the world so often witnessed when religion was wielded as a tool to assert cultural superiority. GP often wondered if religion is the stepping stone to discovering one's spirituality, then how come that which is supposed to unite creates division? Hence, we brothers used to often pose this question to different spiritual leaders, masters, intellectuals, and world leaders whenever we got an opportunity. All of them said the same thing. The differences between religions are superficial and largely external. They are amplified by our own prejudices, biases, and unwillingness to embrace diverse perspectives. Inspired by the wisdom of this conversation, GP felt compelled to compile this book for the younger generation. He hopes that it will help them positively and influence them to navigate the globalized and interconnected world where geographical borders are increasingly losing their relevance. While lines on maps may define territories, they should never divide us. Our hearts must remain borderless and limitless, embracing respect and empathy to all. Only through such openness can we foster groundbreaking, innovative ideas for the future. This tolerance and mutual understanding are crucial for creating an environment of peace, which in turn paves the way for prosperity. As our scriptures beautifully reminded us, prosperity follows wisdom and peace. The title I Am was chosen deliberately to provoke introspection. It invites readers to shed the limitations of identity. I am this or I am that, and instead embark on the discovery of who am I. We hope this work fulfills its purpose. If it inspires even a handful of young minds to think differently and contribute meaningfully, GP shall consider this endeavor a deeply satisfying part of his legacy. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ashok Hinduja ji, for your rich insights. May I now request Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji to share his thoughts with the august gathering.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om Shantihi Shantihi Shanti. Most honorable and very dear to my heart, our Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji, और उनकी धर्मपत्नी श्रीमती सुदेश धनखड़ जी, a man who has dedicated his entire life, one man, one mission, delivery is there, dedication is there, and discipline is there. His amazing conference of all, our Honorable Shri Ajit Dobal ji. मेरे प्रिय श्री अशोक हिंदुजा जी, श्रीमती हर्षा हिंदुजा और आदरणीय सुनील जी, and you all. It's wonderful today. What not only India, but needs. I can see the need of our world is to recognize ourselves. In the Kumbh Mela also, people who are coming, you will be amazed. We have almost 410 million people already there. And amazing thing is, so many people, not so many, everybody, ask one question, do you have a Wi-Fi? People are very concerned. And when people are there, I tell them, you are not here for Wi-Fi, you are here for YI. That's what the Kumbh Mela is. But when we are talking about I am, then makes me aware, if we don't understand in the true sense the meaning of I am, it can also create a trouble. That's why we have to understand the true meaning, the true spirit of these Upanishads and the true spirit of India. What does it mean when I say I am? And why, when people don't understand, mostly it happens, the my way is the highway. Or my way or no way. Then we create more borders and barriers, and we create destruction. But our Sanatan values, our Sanatan Dharma, very beautifully, which is very universal, has shared time and time again. Ano bhadraha kratavo yantu vishwataha. If you want to survive together, if you want to thrive together, only one thing, let all the noble thoughts come from all directions. This is the mantra. That's why the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. Even in India, when we had G20, in any other country you go, seminars, conference, and after that, agreements, MOUs, and G20 or G7, G8 are over. But when you come to India, our Honorable Prime Minister of India made assured that give a vision to people what India stands for. The G20, when people come here, because they came to Rishikesh also, I remember, when we had a discussion with them, and there, they were very happy to see that they came as G20, when they returned, they became G21. This is spirit of India, that you are not reduced, you are included. They were there for 55 countries of African Union, sitting in the corner, but never included. But India made it possible. And all those nations, I thank all those nations that they accepted that, and now we are G21. But why I am saying all of that? The spirit of India is the worship your own and but respect all. This is spirit of India. Worship your own. Young dil India को तंग दिल India नहीं बनाना है. ये बहुत जरूरी है सोचना. और यही धर्म है. Or when I becomes we, the illness becomes wellness. So our whole journey through this book is how I can become we. बस बात बन जाएगी. Look at this amazing, our Vice President of India. I keep listening him. When he's speaking with all those, handling all those, our people of our nation sitting in the Parliament and our Rajya Sabha, you can see the confluence of firmness. First thing is firmness, very firm. No matter what you are, yes, okay, sit down, understand. Firmness, then the fairness. It's not he is handling them roughly. Firmness, fairness, and at the same time, fearlessness. So our Vice President, why he has these values? Because he has inculcated those values from this great culture, to where you have to be firm, you have to be fair, and you have to be fearless. ये जो संगम है ना, देखो भाई इंसानों की दुनिया की खूबसूरती इंसानों से है, लेकिन इंसानों की खूबसूरती जो है वो इंसानियत से है, और इंसानियत की खूबसूरती तब है जब हमारे बीच में आदरणीय श्री धनखड़ जी जैसे लोग उस इंसानियत को टिकाए रखने के लिए कई बार जो इंसानियत से बाहर जाने लगते हैं उनको भी ये दिखाए यू स्टैंड फॉर व्हाट एंड इंडिया स्टैंड्स फॉर व्हाट, और ये उन्होंने पूरी कोशिश की है। और सत्य प्रेम करुणा, सत्य भी है, प्रेम भी है, करुणा भी है। करुणा इतनी है कि जब जब मौके आए, यू नो, ही वाज हाईली पेड when you have your case in the Supreme Court, High Court, but time comes when you don't have to wait for the payments. तब आप वेतन के लिए काम नहीं करते हैं, तब आप वतन के लिए काम करते हैं। तो वेतन के लिए काम करना एक बात है, वतन के लिए काम करना बिल्कुल दूसरी बात है। उस समय उन्होंने अपना करुणा के कारण अपनी प्रैक्टिस को भी उन सब के लिए, डिटेल्स में नहीं जाऊंगा, तिलांजलि दे दी, पर लड़े, लेकिन किस काम के लिए? ताकि हम लोग इस देश में, इस देश को समझ सकें और इकट्ठे रह सकें। लास्ट, द हिंदुजा फैमिली, आई एम वेरी प्राउड ऑफ यू पीपल because I know them for last 40 years. They have understood life is not a collection. God bless them. They have for so long holding number 1 in the Europe. They are the richest people there. But uske baad, they have understood life is not only to have more. Life is to be more. And being more is sharing more, giving more, serving more, caring more. And that also without barriers of borders of caste, creed, region and religions. कोई फर्क नहीं किया। जब भी हेल्प करने की बात आई दौड़ पड़े, जब भी कुछ नया करने की बात आई खड़े हो गए। और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ही नहीं, लुक एट द 1945 बिल्डिंग पड़ी हुई थी होटल, आज उसको वर्ल्ड का सबसे फेमस एक जगह बना दिया उन्होंने। Why? Infrastructure also is high, is wonderful, but at the same time you have to internally structured. Internally structured. Life is a both. पूरी दुनिया में बहुत कुछ खड़ा किया, लेकिन बड़ा बड़ा खड़ा किया एक बात है, लेकिन खुद को बड़ा बढ़िया बना लेना ये दूसरी बात है। उन वैल्यूज के कारण, जिन्होंने वैल्यूज को, आदरणीय धनखड़ जी की क्या लाइफ है, कहां से कहां पहुंचे, क्यों पहुंचे? He has not given importance to valuables, to values. और ये वैल्यूज हैं जो हमें जीवन में महान बनाती हैं, हमें जड़ों से जोड़ती हैं और हमें अपने मूल और मूल्यों से जोड़ती हैं। इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि हमारी तो सारी कहानियां ही यही है। हनुमान जी को मिलती है माला, मोतियों की माला, सबसे महंगी माला, सबसे प्रेशियस माला, द वैल्यूएबल्स, बट ही हैज नॉट गिवन वैल्यू टू दैट वैल्यूएबल माला। वो देख रहे थे उस माला में भी सत्य है कि नहीं है, राम है कि नहीं है। राम माने सत्य, राम माने मर्यादा। इसलिए भारत के ऊर्जावान प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अयोध्या में जब भगवान श्री राम 500 सालों के बाद वहां विराजमान, उन्होंने कहा था राम आग नहीं ऊर्जा है, राम आग नहीं ऊर्जा है, राम विवाद नहीं समाधान है, और राम विजय नहीं विनय है। कितना बड़ा मैसेज है उन लोगों के लिए कि फूले मत समाओ कि अब मंदिर बना है, किसी की नाक छोटी की हमने। वो विजय तो है, लेकिन विजय नहीं, राम विनय है, ये याद रखना है। राम विवाद नहीं, संवाद है, याद रखना है। और उसी का संगम है मेरे देश के एक ऐसे वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया जिससे मुझे बड़ा गौरव होता। अभी कुंभ में गए, लोग शोर कर रहे थे संसद में भी कि वीआईपी कल्चर, ये कल्चर, वो गए, पता भी नहीं लगा, गए चुपचाप, क्योंकि हमारे सामने थे, हम खड़े खड़े देख रहे थे वहां दूर से, आप नहा रहे थे, वहां गए, कोई वीआईपी कल्चर नहीं, चुपचाप गए, बोट में बैठे, अंदर गए, स्नान किया, पूजा की, कब वापस लौट गए पता भी नहीं लगने दिया। ऐसे ही भारत के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया, किसी को कोई कष्ट ही ना हो। मुझे लगता है कि इस कल्चर को बचाए रखने के लिए बहुत कुछ भीतर जीना पड़ता है। समय आया है, वी हैव टू सेव दिस कल्चर ऑफ वननेस, टुगेदरनेस, इंक्लूसिवनेस, allness. This allness is the key. That's why we have all these mantras. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya. Last, that's what is needed today. If we want to save humanity, if we want to survive and thrive together, we have to be together. कोविड आया तो आपने देख लिया, अपने लिए नहीं, not for me, but what through me. This is our nation. कि अपने लिए नहीं बल्कि पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए क्या। और जिन्होंने वैक्सीन बनाई, कल आ रहे हैं मेरे पास में वो लोग कुंभ मेला में। मैं देख रहा हूं कि क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है कि अपना देश खड़ा हो जाता है सबके लिए, क्योंकि उनके मूल में, उनके मूल्यों में, उसकी वैल्यूज में, उसकी जड़ों में यही है कि जब हम जिए तो सबके लिए जिए। भारत केवल अपने लिए सांस नहीं लेता है, भारत तो पूरे विश्व के लिए सांस लेता है। आदरणीय श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी, मैं बहुत गौरवान्वित हूं कि आप इन वैल्यूज को जीते हैं, एंड आई एम वेरी प्राउड ऑफ यू। और हिंदुजा परिवार, मैंने तो आपकी विल को भी देखा है, इनकी विल को कोई पढ़ ले तो आपको आश्चर्य होगा, सारी विल वैल्यूज से भरी हुई है। दे आर नथिंग इन दैट विल, ओनली विल इज दैट वी आर द ट्रस्टी, वी आर द कस्टोडियन, लेट दिस वेल्थ बी फॉर एवरीवन। ये है जीने का कल्चर। जब हम ऐसे जिएंगे देश के बारे में भी, तब आपको लगेगा कि डन, वी हैव अचीव्ड आवर मिशन। और यही भारत का मिशन है, लेट अस बी टुगेदर, द पावर ऑफ टुगेदरनेस is the greatest mantra, the greatest music, and the magic for the coming centuries. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you, Swamiji, for sharing your enlightening thoughts with the gathering. We now come to the much-awaited juncture of today's event. May I request the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji, to launch Shri Gopichand P. Hinduja's book, I Am. May I now request the Honorable Vice President to kindly address the distinguished audience.
Good morning, all of you. At the outset, let me indicate Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji has been very kind, reflected what I don't deserve, and there could be many caveats. My wife has already registered many of them, and Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, by body language, has made it too known. But I take his words, they emanate out of sublimity as motivational. Sri Ajit Doval, National Security Advisor of Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity. His name defines all. Ajit. Sri Ashok P. Hinduja, Chairman Hinduja Group of Companies, India. I am particularly grateful to him for having made my participation in this very momentous
event possible. Ashok ji and me have one similarity. We have formidable challenge from our spouses. I recognize presence of Srimati Harsha Hinduja ji, trustee, Hinduja Foundation. पूज्य स्वामी चिदानंद सरस्वती ji. Saraswati ji may have transgressed from the core area today, but if we would analyze minus what he said about me, then we'll conclude he was speaking out of his soul and for better of humanity. Sri Sunil Kumar Gupta, Secretary to Vice President of India, a batchmate of the Cabinet Secretary, only to buttress the point of his seniority, an alumnus of IIT Kanpur. Message to those who believe in real merit. Excellencies, distinguished guests, I must recognize the presence of some. For reasons I leave to your discretion to figure out. Sri Naveen Jindal, a man of industry. I am focusing on industry, which has dual meanings. A former Union Minister and a sitting member of Lok Sabha. Sri Nitikant Dubey, an extremely volatile and creative member of Lok Sabha. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji, an eminent jurist, senior advocate par excellence, with global exposure to law and justice, is one of the very senior members of Parliament presently in Rajya Sabha. I have lost count of the number of times he has been Rajya Sabha. Let me share a small thing. When Dr. Singhvi demitted office last time from Rajya Sabha, I persuaded him to retain his house. It was my supreme confidence the tiger will come back to the sanctuary. He did not disappoint me. Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal, who is subdued, being accompanied by his wife, who has the title of Colonel, and his son, a Wharton product, who has started a management institute. I had the occasion to deliver the convocation address, Masters Union. And when it was declared, soon it will be one of the top 10 in the world, well, I noticed the feet were on the ground. Shri Vikramji Sani, a Padma Awardee, passionate about his commitments, and had the good occasion in my absence to sit on my chair yesterday and manage proceedings of the House. But I feel it was with my approval. I had signed that document. We have in the audience someone whom I always look up to, and I am violating some kind of intellectual property which he possesses. Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, former Foreign Secretary, Kamal Sibal ji. One of the foremost diplomats, and spending time with him is optimal monetization of time. I know Jyotsna Suri ji ever since I stepped into hallowed precincts of Parliament in 1989. Her late husband was very kind to me and a dear friend. I must recognize her presence. Ladies and gentlemen, in the entire audience, the guest list emanates from Ashok Hinduja ji, except with one variation, and that is Vipul Rumta. Vipul Rumta, I know him since birth. His father has shaped me and mentored me over the years. His father, alumnus of BITS Pilani, and happened to be one of the most distinguished chairmen of the largest public sector in India, Steel Authority of India. Vipul Rumta presently is MD and CEO, SDFC Capital. His focus area, and that is very dear to the heart of the Prime Minister. And Prime Minister has realized his dream by making available 40 million houses to the poor. Vipul's area of involvement is affordable housing. And the Honorable Prime Minister himself tweeted when he participated in one of the events. Ladies and gentlemen, I have had a public life over 4 decades. I do not figure out an event that comes even close to it. This is indeed a profoundly unique moment. The release of I Am, a thoughtful and thought-provoking assimilation by Sri Gopichand P. Hinduja. He celebrated his 84th birthday last fortnight on January 29. I had the good fortune to call him, to greet him, to inquire about his health and well-being, and wish him happy, healthy and long life full of creativity. Friends, this launch taking place in Bharat, the land of Sanatan, the cradle of one of the oldest civilizations and global spiritual center, carries deep significance. The title, when we scratch the surface, which we often do, and which more often than not is avoidable, the title is intriguing, but only till one sails into its pages. And let me buttress my comment. King Charles III of the United Kingdom had appellations for this treatise. Sheikh Nayan bin Mubarak Ali Al Nayan, Minister of Faith and Tolerance in UAE, has glorified it. This treatise, I am confident, will be feast for the inquisitive mind. It will be North Star for spiritually inspired aspirants. And for the reader, he will get an occasion to delve deep into the timeless truth that all world religions share. I commend GP, as he is known to his friends. I can claim to be younger, for this visionary masterwork that synthesizes civilization's eternal truths, illuminating how all faiths converge in their quest for spiritual transcendence, conveniently forgotten by all on occasions that require remembrance. The work embodying the essence of Sanatan, and there is departure from the usual interfaith conversations marked by upmanship. Distinguished audience, I am using the word upmanship only to moderate my reaction. Otherwise, interfaith discourse on occasions matches the kind of disruption and disturbance that I have the occasion to see in temple of democracy. Friends, I am. These profound words mark the crossroads where I am either dissolves into collective harmony that is wholesome and soothing, or hardens in ego's captivity, which is more often the case with people who enjoy power, ignoring the fundamental facet that power lies in limitations and not in exercise. Coercion is the poorest form of exercise of power. But then there is other facet emanating from this book. Through self-reflection, ego blooms, flourishes, and through arrogance, it withers. It slides into painful irrelevance of the possessor. The true power emerges, friends, not in I am for myself, as reflected by Puji Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji. If we take I am with you, imagine a person in distress and someone he looks up to or she looks up to says, I am with you. Can there be greater motivational, inspirational succor than this? And if the person goes beyond, I am for us, it symbolizes spinal leadership quality, elevating consciousness to Vasudev Kutumbakam, where personal identity transforms into universal connection. A message Bharat imparted to the global fraternity with its G20 motto, One Earth, One Family, One Future. This, as a matter of fact, friends, was reiteration of the civilizational ethos and essence of thousands of years in this country, which was always ground reality. The world is often described as a clash of civilizations. This book soothingly and appropriately presents a convergence of civilizations with focus on unity where others look for division. It espouses timeless civilizational essence of inclusivity, that is Bharat. I seek to quote from Rig Veda, Ano Bhadra Kartvo Yantu Vishwata. Let noble thoughts flow from all directions. Since I find presence of diplomats, I think it was Bismarck said, let the winds of change flow. But that, with utmost constraint at my command, was not as large-hearted as what was reflected in Rig Veda. Let noble thoughts flow from all directions. Why only change? This book offers readers an enlightened elixir of wisdom that is always much beyond knowledge. The relevance of I am cannot be overstated. It bears huge contemporaneous relevance. We live in an era where societies are fractured by narratives, amplifying differences rather than emphasizing commonalities. This book, in sharp variants, with the alarmingly worrisome confrontational global scenario. And the people present here know the gravity of it, the enormity of it more than I do. This book, in sharp variance with alarmingly worrisome confrontational global scenario, stands as a testament to tolerance, working in togetherness, as indicated by Puja Swamiji, harmony, coexistence, mutual respect, recognizing shared humanity values and commonality of sublimity and spirituality that threads all faiths. The book teaches the reader to nurture a spirit of peaceful, purposeful, sustainable coexistence, which no longer is an option. It is the only way if we have to survive on the planet. And we all are fully cognizant of the enormity and extremity of the problem, and also of the fact there is no planet available other than Mother Earth to cohabit. Friends, at its core, this book is about oneness. Our paths may differ, and they would. There will be different points of view. There will be occasions when the other point of view may be right. My own experience is more often than not, it is right. We have to subscribe in fullness to expression and dialogue. Democracy carries no meaning, no nectar, if expression is compromised, throttled or controlled. And expression by itself has no dimension if there is no dialogue. If there is expression, my way, I am judgmental, I am right. You can never be right. I will never consider even what you have to say. Then dialogue has no meaning. So expression and dialogue are the twins that define what democracy is. And friends, in a sense, the book not only espouses this, but is a pointer to the ultimate goal of Vedic wisdom. The wisdom is encapsulated in the realization of the ultimate reality or the oneness of all creations. Just imagine, why limit to human beings, living beings? The source of creation is one. The habitat is one. And look at where we have come today. For Bharat, diverse and rising, this book holds greater relevance and promise. The state of the nation is encouraging as never before, with hope and possibility all pervasive. Friends, no nation in recent years has seen exponential economic upsurge, phenomenal infrastructure growth, penetrating technological and digital access and adaptation at all levels, at the level of those who are never on the radar, those in the last line. The nation is no longer a nation with potential as it used to be called. Viksit Bharat is not a dream any longer. It is definitely object and achievable to all intents and purposes. It shall be achieved when India celebrates centenary of its independence in 2047, if not earlier. But friends, this wholesome scenario faces forces seeking to exploit and perniciously amplify artificial divides. of caste, class, creed, color, culture and cuisine. It is excruciating pain at my level in my position that people with a deep understanding of the dangers that are inherent in such an approach, tied to partisan interests, narrow interests, take to public platforms to espouse these pernicious tendencies. I have no doubt, friends, and this emanates from the book. Belief in faith is voluntary. It must be call of conscience. Faith generated by doctrine or manipulation is pathetic exploitation, the worst form of human exploitation. If it is by way of allurements, temptations, empowerment with this, I have no words, I am holding myself back, this ulterior motive. Imagine if the object is to secure supremacy, primacy over others, subject others to hegemony by demographic prowess. Then the concern is extreme. This concern, friends, is a writing on the wall at the moment. In most nations of the world, the book has come not a day too soon. The book is a beacon of guidance to such misguided souls. But for us, for the largest democracy, as I said, home to 1/6 of humanity, with the sterling historical record of inclusivity, sinister forces with strategized inimical stance, even to the idea of Bharat, are unfortunately securing space by way of orchestrated anti-national narratives, non-organic engineered demographic variations, influx of illegal migrants in millions, and alluring conversions, to refer just to some. These are, friends, potentially existential challenges to the philosophy emanating from the book and to the philosophy Bharat has lived for over 5,000 years. In such a scenario, to ensure India's continual developmental journey and drawing from a sense of all faiths, it is our bounden spiritual ordainment to neutralize such viciously divisive misadventures. Bharat's spiritual and cultural heritage is not only our strength and unity's foundation, it is for world stability, harmony and peace. We all will have to work in unison and togetherness to make it impregnable. Friends, this book underscores universal relevance of Bharatiyata virtuosity that is discernible in all faiths. The book reminds preachers and practitioners both. We can respect and appreciate others' truth without alluring conversions. Unity needs no uniformity. Bharati is a perfect example. It exemplifies unity in diversity. In all facets of human behavior, tolerance means not triumph over others. Disruption must yield to dialogue, disturbance to deliberation, conflict to consensus. We find in the world hard, rigid stands being taken. It has been said by our sages irretrievable confrontational stance is antithetical to the essence of all faiths and smacks of misplaced self-righteousness and judgmental approach. It is crossing all fault lines, getting into the red area. These principles we must adopt. Tolerance, coexistence, dialogue, consensus, because these will free society from the afflictions I have indicated. Friends, this philosophy, the author is cognizant of the fact, is also evidenced in Hinduja group's vision, fostering inclusivity, sustainability, and cultural understanding beyond being a multi-sector powerhouse. Hinduja group's contributions transcend conventional CSR. Building a Gurudwara and a crematorium in Iran, showing extraordinary commitment to preserving identity. Recently, I was at the Bhumi Pujan ceremony of Nandlal Nawal Center of Indology at Bharati Vidya Bhavan in New Delhi. And there I presently gathered that the Hinduja group established the first overseas branch of Bharati Vidya Bhavan in New York. The group bridges the East-West divide through the Dharm Hinduja Indic Research Center at Columbia University, reclaiming our civilization narrative globally. I commend Sri Gopichand P. Hinduja for this remarkable anthology and Sri Ashok Hinduja for enabling its release. I pray one and all, may the message that is in the book resonate with the spiritual seekers, thought leaders, active citizens, and one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address and for your words of motivation and guidance. May I now request all present to kindly stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता